political songs, like we have an ulterior motive to bring the government down. But I tell them, hold on, wait a while. I won't let political vampires grab my style. They could take a look back to all my independent songs. I never sing politics, always write some sweet lyrics. So I don't know where they get this stinking idea from. Hey, somebody tell my Kenny gang a mistake they make to rap with young song. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. They could leave me out from semi-final, that will never stop me at all. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. They had their thing well planned to give the shanty man, so they leave out them bad man. They know they go take the crown, up the Paris set, so they make a big man wet. They say that we ain't good, we can need that yellow food. Hey! Wow to them, they too disrespectful. What they label it, man. I'm a real bad man. It's all the show of failure that living down by me. Well, one day he disrespect me because I asked him for my money. Then he went up in the ministry when he was in charge of culture, and he gave them strict instruction, don't give me no work for Carifta. Somebody tell Mr. Study for me, Carifta weekend, well I made the most money, because when I roll out in me nice clean Toyota, I trap people all over, I collect US dollar, but I never make Bobby roll under my queen car. Hey, somebody tell this banger wrong, a mistake he make to with young song. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. I want him to explain to the people how he got his driver's license. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. You take them people land and try to be love stand, and then you walking wrong like you with some big badge, and when puzzle bully barricade, you fly up in a rage. That's why baby Jesus, he got you ignorant. Up to you for the wrong things, wrong man to deal with. I'm a real bad man. I know some people will never like the fire that I'm spitting out, so all who can stand it, just come and box me in me mouth. Cause when scholar running up him out and keep me chill and NNP, realize it's same center all you lads be jumping and clapping for you. Some people bad-minded and haters for the lie. I got it out doing it to me so wrong and right. So right now I really don't give a damn what critics say. I come in with a gun blessing, I don't paying anything, so nobody cannot tell me what the hell to sing. Hey, when kid bitches selling passport, all you want to strangle him like a goat. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. No passport selling more than rum in shop, I don't hear nobody talking about that. I'm in tongue real long, I know what is going on. Bullets flying like buds, but I don't hear in a word from the commissioner, neither the prime minister. Everybody mouth and lock, no one is afraid to talk. Right now I go say it blunt, all you hit rocket mouth, hey boy. Ha! I let collect real CBI money, boy, but I hear most of it outside there. I like about to say he's in Dubai. You see right now, out and bad, out and bad, out and bad. This year, out and bad, out and bad, out and bad, out and bad. I get in and out and bad.
Tell the can stop all the makiki and go have on the country. For those who don't understand, everything is a gala, van is gala and no gala. Be a gala in Miami, also New York City, gala in Toronto, even London also is gala and no gala. But while they dining, partying and they having fun, some people don't know where the next meal coming from. While they fetting, and the authority don't care nothing. Everything is gala. We had the best prime minister. Everything is gala. They even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nowadays I cannot rest. I'm suffering with gala stress. Hey, do that, hit it up. tell you big increase in gun crime, still EPM going online. Well, this is the nation cry. He don't care who live or die, but gala and more gala. People panic, they free to sleep. Country lacking leadership. Some searching for answer. Not one word to the media, but gala and more gala. But while they dining, partying and they having fun, we shooting one another with gun. People dying while they fetting, and to the authority that's nothing. Everything is gala. We are the best prime minister. If to hear them gala, they even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nobody's afraid to rest. I suffering with gala stress. Poor people frightened, afraid to talk. PM meeting with knife and fork. Dressing fancy clothing, wedding rather soon jamming in gala and more gala. Independent man, big fanfare. Drone flying everywhere. They have no discipline. They stop roadside vending for gala and more gala. But while they dining, partying and they having fun, some people don't know where the next meal coming from. While they fetting, and to the authority that's nothing. Everything is gala. We are the best prime minister. If to hear them gala, they even praising his sleepers. But I say I must confess, nowadays I cannot rest. I suffering with gala stress.
Mr. PM, sir, I hope you listen to me. I'm not your enemy, just the voice of the people. Lambda do do do. Last year enough people said give you a song. In all fairness, I told all of them hold on. It was only 1 year, you deserve a chance. But it's 2 years now, grace period past and gone. I had no problem with the pension, that was okay. But the money you didn't source on your own. So the credit for that it had to split 2 ways. Since after that, we waiting for something major to be done. Not one capital project like your government on recess, but it's only pictures and videos, while the poor people belly hollow. The place looking bleak, things not sweet on the street, but it's only paint and flowers like. And everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. All over the damn country, people balling, balling. Like all you deaf and listening, balling, balling. Everywhere you go, Papa, people balling, balling. The economy sick, no money on the street, but all you only planting flowers like. Them public servants say they waiting still. regularizing them got stuck on a hill. The teachers and him and knees tired fret. And them nurses say how they live to regret. The healthcare condition is overbearing. Basic medication the patients can't get. And the more people cry, all you're doing nothing. The hospital suffering from a complete case of neglect. What about no more contract? And primary health care, that was vote talk. The medical staff could hardly function. And it's like that all over the island. The place looking bleak. Things not sweet on the street, but it's only paint and flowers like. And everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. Everywhere you go, mama, people balling, balling. People can't feed their families, balling, balling. All over the country, people balling, balling. People feeling sick, hopelessness have them weak. But all you're only planting flowers like. Oh ladoy, bambado, bambado, ladoy. Mr. PM, the old people have a saying, who can't hear us feel? Listen, sir. Mr. PM, the country living in fear. Night and day bullets ringing out everywhere. Still waiting for you say something to we. As we lead on head of security. Right now the people frightened and hopeless. No confidence in the leadership. From you to the commissionites, pointless. The people say something needs to be done and it must be quick. What about Edwin Martin? You ain't want him, but others need him. National security in trouble. Cause the police force you dismantle. The place looking bleak. Things not sweet on the street, but it's only paint and flowers like them thing good too. And everywhere you pass, people balling, balling. Everywhere you go, papa, people balling, balling. The country don't have no money, sir. Balling, balling. All over the place, mama, people balling, balling.
And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I will be with you until at least the 10 o'clock hour, maybe over that. It is now 14 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
Plenty families hurting still.
Yeah, this one is Sheldon Scott. The next one, I want to sing it, is Sheldon Douglas. It's two Sheldon. So you gotta get your Sheldons correct, eh?
Enough people with no place to rest they head. Where all they talk about housing, housing, man, all your dread.
And we say a special good night to all our listeners locally, regionally, internationally, wherever you are. To our listeners who are at home now, yeah, I met some of you today and so on, who are back on island. We say a special good night to all of you. If you're listening, if you're not out in one of them places having dinner or whatever it is, we say a special good night to you.
Housing.
And even if you're out, we know you're going to listen when you get home. So we say a special good night to you still.
Tell them about the Stony Gut project.
No, Sheldon, they ain't talking about Stony Gut. You're mad. They ain't talking about that.
The place looking bleak.
Yes, indeed. Huh?
It's on the street, but it's only.
I hope many of you got the opportunity to pay attention to the police press conference today. They did have a press conference today, and they spoke about that situation with the missing U.S. Tourists, and they did indicate where she was last seen on camera. That was in the area, the jetty, swimming under the jetty and that sort of thing, and then she swam out of sight. And then there was mention again of a sighting by individuals far out to sea. Now, those of us who are Grenadians who are listening to this program tonight, you all know, we as Grenadians, we don't swim, we don't go quite out from Granans Beach. No, it's Granans Beach. We want to be close to the sand. Yeah, we ain't going far out. Yeah, that's just our nature. We don't do that. So there were some persons that did mention that they saw her a bit out in the water, a good distance out, they said, that they did see her out there. And they had a conversation with her. They actually turned off the jet ski and they had a conversation with her and so on. Yes, so we still left, it's an open investigation. They are still searching for her. And we do hope that eventually she is found. In whatever state, we do hope eventually that she is found. Yeah, just for some closure for the family.
Rape, because I fed up reading the media about an ex-prisoner escape. And I go fix up all those high prices that most Grenadians can't afford. Instead of demolishing those poor vendors, put along the side of the road and leave them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby Jesus is of the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. The higher the monkey climb is more we expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is of the blues. My people balling with them out close. Mr. PM, please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to eat grass. Transformation in we mass. Hey. Oh, yo, yo. Ballin', ballin'. Politics, politics. Me closest neighbor stop tell me howdy. All because of politics, politics. Friend and family turn me enemy.
Yes, sorry about that one, folks. Just had to run off. Let me seat myself back properly. Just had to run off there for a second.
By John Thomas was the one who left.
We do apologize for that.
But now we robbing up the same one.
Saying a special good night to all of you joining us on the YouTube, all of you joining us on the Facebook tonight,
Workers and make sure
and all of you joining us via We Noise Radio, We Noise Television,
they need them out close. Oh God,
our Carriacou and Petit Martinique listeners. I do hope that you all have been having a fabulous day today.
them out close.
Or Union Island, all the other islands out there, Union Island, Bakeway, etc. We do hope that you're on with us tonight as per usual.
Yeah, them. Oh God, baby Jesus.
I haven't heard from, I had to divorce wifey, Wifey ain't messaging at all from Union Island. Wifey ain't messaging at all.
Be careful with the talk.
That's for a divorce, man.
Why the hell you remove the cap from the gas?
I'll have to talk to sister-in-law about this state of affairs.
Kick your even last. Transformation in we mass. What you
Good night to you, Union Island.
Transformation in we mass. When I start to talk, you say in a fast. Transformation in we mass. Hey.
Today I was outside of the police press conference, which I didn't get the opportunity to look at the entire thing. but I did look at a part of it. I was looking today at the Parliament sitting, and several things out of the Parliament sitting I'll mention. And I do hope that those of you do take the time from time to time to look in on Parliament and see what's taking place, because there are things there that come about that always affect you down the line. So you may be looking at Parliament and they may be speaking about, for instance, if you're outside of Grenada, they may be speaking about a new measure for when you enter Grenada. There were a lot of people coming into Grenada that did not realize that you can fill your forms electronically online the day before you fly to Grenada. Yeah, there are a lot of people that didn't understand that. So there are a lot of things that pass through Parliament that are important for you. So you must pay attention to what is going on in Parliament. Yeah. And I do know that the Leader of His Majesty's Opposition did pose some questions to the Prime Minister, was one of them in his capacity as Minister of Infrastructure, to the Minister of Agriculture, that's Mr. Lennox Andrews, as they say, Toes, or some of you will call him True Tie. Yeah, nickname for so. He has much nickname as he has Toes. So in his case, yeah, and the Leader of the Opposition was making a particular point. And I will have to pull my Erskine and Mays. Those of you who are familiar with Parliament would know that Erskine and Mays remains the repository of most knowledge regarding parliamentary procedure. These are two individuals that have, they've wrote extensively in relation to our style of parliament, and usually when there's an impasse in relation to how you proceed on a particular issue, you often hear parliamentarians say, well, we're going to refer to Erskine and Mays. They're going to go into those books and find out what should really be done in a situation like this. And the Leader of His Majesty's Opposition was making a particular point, that when you request information of a government minister, and that is in the parliamentary sitting, so a parliamentarian on the opposition side can request information from the government side. They request that through the particular minister who is responsible for the issue that they're asking about. They can ask the Minister of Agriculture regarding issues for them. They can ask the Minister of Infrastructure to provide information to them. And then it is, the person can stand and say, I stand on question so and so in my name, and they give a response. They can give an oral response, they can give a written response. And you can indicate if you would like an oral response, if the person will stand up and read out something or respond verbally, or if they can just give a written response, and that is okay. Yeah? So you can ask for either or. In one instance though, there is a limit to the number of oral responses that can be asked for. Yes, so you can ask for oral responses to all your questions. I think there was a limit. I'm not sure if it was from the Erskine and Mays standard or from the Parliament of Grenada standard that they had put in place, that you could only ask a certain amount of questions orally. That being said, the person to respond is the minister, not the permanent secretary in a ministry. So no document is supposed to be coming and you're saying, well, this is from the permanent secretary has responded, or any other civil servant. Yeah? The person who has to respond is the person in Parliament. I have done it before. Unlike many people, I have spent time in Parliament. I have had questions asked of me. I gathered the information, went to the Parliament, and presented the information. In some instances orally, some instances written. I presented the information when they asked for numbers of this or how many people involved in that and that sort of thing. You present the information. You didn't send a letter to them from the permanent secretary and say, well, the permanent secretary has responded thus. No, it is the minister. And the Honorable Emlyn Pear was simply making that point, that you have to do things. If Parliament, they're trying to treat Parliament, no, this government is trying to treat Parliament similar to how they're treating government and how they're treating everything else. Wishy-washy. Anything goes. That is the way that they tend to be treating things. So you see a situation where they are supposed to be carrying out procedures in a particular way, and there's a reason it is carried out in a particular way in parliament or in government or so on. But they have just been avoiding doing things the proper and legal way. Today, for instance, I went and I got a copy of the Government Gazette. It is the proper procedure that when a government minister travels, let me repeat, it is the common procedure that when a government minister travels, another minister, due to that minister being outside of the state of Grenada, they could be out for a day, they could be out for a week, they could be out for a month. Once they are out of the state of Grenada, once they have left Grenadian territory, another person has to take up that ministerial portfolio on behalf of the person that is now outside of Grenada. So we know we've had situations in this right now. We have ministers that I'm sure are not in the country. From January, February, March, April, May, June, we're in July. Every single week, you have ministers who are not in the country, who have traveled, who just coming back because they have a parliament said they're rushing to come back for that, or so on. The procedure is that when somebody is in an acting position on behalf of another minister, that fact ought to be published in the Government Gazette. It has not been happening. They have been avoiding following the laws of Grenada and the rules as set down by the Constitution of Grenada. They are not following the rules. So you are seeing now, excuse me, you're seeing now, over the past few months, more and more that they are publishing these gazettes and there's no
Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to eat grass. Transformation in we mass. Hey. Never stop, tell me howdy. All because of politics. Politics. Friend and family too.
Yeah, let me see if I can get back to that now. You all won't believe what happened there, you know. It's a sandfly or something that went to my throat here. A sandfly that do me that way? Yeah, I know where to send the sandfly for. Yeah. So I was saying, folks, the proper procedure is that when that happens, when one minister is out of the country and another minister is holding on to their portfolio for them, that fact has to be published in the Government Gazette. I challenge the government to prove to us that all of the travels that have been taking place, because they continue to travel, they continue to fly out for all different things. With all of the traveling taking place, why is there no notice of that in the Government Gazette? It's between two things. It's between they obviously decide that they're going to flout the laws of Grenada and they're not going to pay attention to the laws. You could say what you want, do what you want. They're not going to follow the laws and procedure. Or the second thing is that they're afraid that you see it and you recognize how much some ministers are still traveling. After we've heard of figures of all $7 million being sent on traveling, after 4 years that the Prime Minister has been out of the country for half that time, half the time. He's been prime minister for 2 years and has been out of Grenada for 2 and something. I know the exact figure now because it's changed and it keeps changing. But for at least half the time that he's been prime minister, he has not been within the state of Grenada. So they're not publishing those things in the government gazette as the law dictates, as they are supposed to do. Yeah, as they are supposed to do. We are not seeing those things being published. But that's not the only thing. They're flouting the law in a lot of other areas. So when you see the Honorable Emlyn Pear having to stand up and speak on that particular issue, and she wasn't the only one. And I think the speaker, and I don't tell her that speaker is a waste of time. That speaker boss, that speaker is a waste of time. Yeah? When you have someone of the ilk of Dr. Clarice Modest, the mother of the house, there is no one in that House of Representatives, yeah, outside of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, there is no one who was there today that has more experience in the House of Representatives and from both sides as a government minister and in the opposition benches. Nobody in that House of Representatives has the amount of experience that the Honorable Clarice Modest has. She spent time in opposition between 2008 and 2013. So she knows about submitting questions and how they're supposed to be answered. She spent time from 1999 to the present as an MP, most times as a government minister. So she knows about responding to questions and the proper procedure for responding to questions. So when she stands and she tells the speaker, hey, you didn't really make a ruling on this thing. There was a complaint and I'm the deputy speaker of the house, so I need to know in case something like this comes up while I'm in the chair, I would like to know how you interpret we should deal with this. So I would like to hear what your response to it is. Up to this point in time, the speaker has never responded. And while those on the other side see this as just something, or let's just making talk in relation to things, look the information, that is not the point. The point is there is a procedure and procedure has to be followed. And in all of that, it was interesting too, because when I look at the questions that were answered, and let me see if I can pull them up here. I don't have all of them, but I have one of them here. And this is in regards questions that were asked by the leader of the opposition regarding various aspects of, and this is how it was sent from the permanent secretary. No, it's supposed to be coming from the Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry. Yeah, he's supposed to be providing, not the permanent secretary. They are not the one. But there was something I saw here that stoked my interest, and let me see if I can get to that. Yeah. And it was this particular section here. Because we know, on Simon Says, we did hear the story, and we did see the photos, videos of dead animals. The animals that were brought into the country. The animals we were told that Miss Jenny Simon lied. That is not what we were told? Were we not told that Miss Jenny Simon lied? Did we not have the permanent secretary coming out? Did we not have the minister himself coming out and saying that the animals ain't dead, is not true, that sort of thing? Well, their own figures prove differently, because out of the pigs, 146 were imported. They had a 17% mortality rate, so 17% of them have died. Out of the sheep, 163, they have a 7% mortality rate there with the sheep. And out of the goats, they have a 10% mortality rate out of the 159 that they brought in. Yeah? Yes, the animals is animals. They come in and they come for breeding. So the animals have multiplied. You have 175 piglets, 37 lambs, 58 kids, and so on. And you look at the cause, acute respiratory syndrome, mycoplasma pneumonia, gastric torsion with rupture, acute trauma resulting from animal fights. So I think I know what at least two of these are. This is self-explanatory, that the animals fought each other until one of them dead. I don't know how that was allowed to happen if you pay how much $1 million for these animals that you put them in a situation where that can happen. But anyway, you have gastric torsion with rupture. In other words, the animals eat too much and boss. Explain that one. The animals eat too much and they boss. They had too much food and they eat too much and they boss. Mycoplasma pneumonia, a type of respiratory disease that different types of animals get. Same with acute respiratory syndrome and so on. I'm no vet. But didn't we hear them saying that, oh, this wasn't true? This, what we see here, the mortality rate part here, the 17% and the 7% and the 10%. And how come 17% of the pigs? I thought all you say, Miss Jenny Simon, the lie. Eh? Who's this signed? No, who's this signed by? Let me bring it back up, man. Who is this signed by? Okay, Permanent Secretary, Mr. Javon Williams, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries. But I thought all you say, Miss Simon, the lie. Ain't it? Yeah? How come the story changing now? Because she had shown that, in fact, I remember at a point in time when I did mention the issue myself and I said, hey, I'm going to go to the farm and see the situation there, because I was hearing some situations. In fact, the farm in St. Patrick, they didn't even have a desk for the people to sit down. They had to sit down on the floor and try and do a work there. They didn't have a desk. They didn't have a chair. Nothing. And we had to speak about it. They rush and do it, and then they leave instructions with the security at the gate that 2 people are not to enter the farm. And I just was not in the mood to decide to challenge it. 2 people are not to enter the farm. Sheldon Scott and Jenny Simon are not to enter that farm. I don't know who tell them they could have blocked us from entering the farm if we really decide we want to enter the farm. It's we that own it. You think it's all you own it, that belong to the government of Grenada? Hey, I understand these people. But I remember a particular man said that, oh,
we spent a lot of money to import poor breed animals from the USA. In fact, Mr. Speaker, we brought in, January of this year, 144 pigs, poor breed, 159 sheep, and 161 goats. Together with the medicine and the feed supply, including hay, for 3 months. The pigs are at Maribou. I went there. In fact, I was at the airport when the animals came in huge freaks, whatever the word is. Good. I was there. PS was there. And all the doctors who would support the program, they were all there. And we watched this animal taken off from the big plane, placed on crate, put on trucks, and traveled to their respective locations. It was a beautiful sight. The only thing, Mr. Speaker, we wanted that to happen today. But the plane arrived in the night. So the people could have seen, exactly what we're doing. But it came at night. Yeah? The police was there to give us the support to make sure the animals were transported safely. So the pigs are in Maribou. You must go and see them. They must look at the barn. First, pretty. The goats are in there. And the sheep, they in sautés. And then they're all alive. In fact,
oh, They ain't dead, they're all alive. Is that so? They ain't dead. They're all alive. They ain't dead.
They're all alive. In fact, dead. They're all alive. In fact, yes. And then dead. They're all alive. In fact, yes. And then dead. They're all alive. In fact, Mr. Speaker, they are multiplying. They are multiplying.
Yeah, they ain't dead. They all alive, but dying correct. No. We see just now, then we go back to the document there. How much? Nice, right thing there. Mortality, right? So you see there? Right, yeah. Yeah? So they ain't dead. They're all alive. They ain't dead. They're multiplying. They ain't dead. Not me say, the man that say it thing, you know. Not me that say, the man that say it thing. Yeah? Once again, let me bring it up for you once again, from the top.
To import poor breed animals from the USA. In fact, Mr. Speaker, we brought in, January of this year, 144 pigs, poor breed, 159 sheep, and 161 goats. Together with the medicine and the feed supply, including hay, for 3 months. The pigs are at Maribou. I went there. In fact, I was at the airport when the animals came in huge freaks, whatever the word is. Good. I was there. Yes, was there. And all the doctors who would support the program, they were all there. And we watched this animal taken off from the big plane, placed on crate, put on trucks, and traveled to their respective locations. It was a beautiful sight. The only thing, Mr. Speaker, we wanted that to happen today. But the plane arrived in the night. So the people could have seen, exactly what we're doing. But it came at night. Yeah? The police was there to give us the support to make sure the animals were transported safely. So the pigs are in Maribou. You must go and see them. They multiply the barn. First, they're pretty. The goats are in Lara. And the sheep, they're in Soteis. And then they're all alive. In fact, Mr. Speaker, they are multiplying.
I wonder why as soon as he said they're all alive, the MP for Carriacou just stand up and walk off. Let me check that again. As soon as he say they're all alive, the MP for Carriacou couldn't contain his laughter and he decided to get up and walk off. Yeah, because you know you lie.
They're all alive. In fact, Mr. Speaker, they are multiplying. They are multiplying.
Okay, I think we hear enough of that voice for now. Yeah, I know all your listeners, and I know I'll get a message just now, because I think I know you all had enough of that voice. But the lie detector has found out that you are lying. Yeah, that's a lie, right? Because at that point in time that he made that statement, during the budget presentation, Miss Jenny Simon had already shown us pictures of the state of some of the animals and had reported to us that they had died. You had over 20 of the pigs that died. You had over 15 of the goats, I believe, had died and so on. So you had quite a good bit of them that died. And she had reported that. And they make all kind of mawet, they make all kind of meme, they try to make it look like she was not telling the truth. Until now, all you had to answer that she was not lying. Is all you and Simon says on Thursday. I'm going to leave all you to Jenny. Yeah? But folks, also today, and that was this video that I just played was from at the point in time that the discussion had come up that some of the animals had died. You heard the minister lying to the parliament, making the statement that none dead. None ain't dead. Yeah? And that was a lie. Because at that point in time, there was picture and video evidence that several animals had died. The same animals that they quarantine. Remember with the horse, they say they had no place to quarantine animals, but they quarantine those though. The 100 and something pigs and the how much goat and all the sheep and thing, they had place, they quarantine those. But when come to the horse, they said they have no quarantine facilities anywhere in Grenada. The same people. Yeah, the same people. In fact, in one of the press conferences, they tell you there are no quarantine facilities, and then later in the same press conference, they talk about quarantining these same animals. Yeah? But today, there was something else that happened, and it has me, as a conscientious Grenadian, it has me a bit worried. The last time that we had... Who tell me go and look at the comment section in the chats. My goodness. Good night, everybody in the chat section. Right. Oh, Nurse Wendy, all you behave. Janice and Alcy and Anastasia and Bernadette, all you behave. Jillian, all you behave. Right. Well, go and watch that section for. They ain't dead. They're alive. Let me stop before my voice go off again. Eh? But folks, something very serious took place today. And there's a statement that was made in the parliament today. And when I heard that statement, it got me a bit concerned. And I'll tell you why after I play the statement. I'll tell you why that statement got me a bit concerned. Yeah? Because it lends to something even more dangerous than what it is. Yeah, I move up the animals, so now I say I'm leaving them to Jenny. Jenny go deal with them. She go deal with Bagwan, and she go deal with Toes. I'm leaving them to Jenny. She go deal with them.
Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the notion that because the international community has raised concern over a particular program, that we must then now cease all activities with it is just a cowardice approach. We are not interested in fighting any wars. We are interested in developing our country and by extension the region. This, we believe, what we are doing in terms of consistent reforms is extremely important, not just to secure our citizenship by investment impression throughout the world, but to ensure that Grenada's economic resilience is well taken care of. Because if we can think of other avenues to raise revenue, why can we not develop this one to the best of our ability to still raise the revenues and then also include some of the new and spoken about innovative ways to generate revenue?
Now, let me tell you all why this. Many people may have heard it and it passed by them. Previously in our parliament, we had two people making certain kind of statements. Remember, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, when he was making those loose statements regarding Grenada's support of Cuba. Loose statements that were being made. On the GBN to the Point program, we had the Minister of Finance making loose statements there. What came out of that? One, the Minister of Finance lose his visa, but that wasn't it. He lost his visa, and then, due to the statements they were making, all Grenadians get hit right now most of our soca artists cannot go to the United States and perform when Carnival is over. Some of them all know, so they used to fly up and go in Miami and do a fete, or they go in New York and do a fete, or Canada and come back down. So it used to have fellas that flying out the week before Carnival and so on, going and doing these fetes and coming back. They can't even do that because they have lost their US visa. And you know, if you lose your US visa and you have a Canadian one, bet your bottom dollar the Canadian go in just now too, because they're interconnected. So we have this minister making certain statements there. We have him making these statements, loose statements about the CBI program. Now, in context, today, government brought to Parliament certain legislation for the change in the way that the CBI program is being managed, and also for the new CBI vetting authority. I'll call it that in the simplest of terms. The vetting authority, the centralized authority for the CBI to be based in Grenada. Yeah? And I'll come to why certain people want it based in Grenada in a bit. But for the authority that is going to be dealing with CBI for all the other territories. So St. Lucia would have to speak to Grenada. Dominica, St. Kitts, all of them would have to deal with Grenada. When St. Vincent comes online, Grenada as well. Now, I know they want to do it in Grenada for one reason. The Prime Minister wants it here because he can benefit personally from it, not the country. Let me say again, not Grenada, he as an individual. Because guess which law firm they're going to try to use while they're here? And he knows he's going out of office. So he's trying to solidify his life after politics. And if that entity is based in Grenada, you could bet your bottom dollar which one of the local agents they're going to be using. Well, they can't use Mr. Cornwall again. He closed down his thing. Either he closed it down or they closed it down, but he get closed down. But the Prime Minister's is still operating. Which legal firm is that entity going to find themselves using, do you believe? Which other one other than the Prime Minister's own legal firm? But there's a lot more to it than that. That's just the surface. What Mr. Ron Redhead is saying there, you better get used to be calling Mr. because he ain't going to be called honorable for much longer. What he is saying there is dangerous to us. Because he's basically saying you can't frighten, you have to continue doing CBI, and why should we start winding down CBI and so on. The reason you need to start winding down CBI is because CBI cannot be relied on anymore. One of the things that sell for people who want a CBI passport, they could call it IMA all they want, CBI. One of the things that people want is ready access to as many countries as possible. Hence the reason the Prime Minister back and forth in Africa, because they want to move it. If Grenada has visa-free access to 140 countries, they want to raise it to 150 so that more people would want the Grenadian passport because they could travel to more countries without having to dig in your pocket to apply for a visa from that country because you have a Grenadian passport. That is the main reason that people want the Grenadian passport, because we have Schengen visas. In other words, we have visa-free travel to the European Union countries, which, by the way, includes Spain. That I see a set of them jumping up. Oh, we get visa-free travel to Spain. We already had it. Yeah? We already had it. Even if you get it direct from Spain now, as Spain being part of the European Union, you already had visa-free access to them through the Schengen visa. So now, you have a situation that this minister is saying, well, what else we go look at? Continue it. In fact, let's hear him. Let's hear him in his own words. Let's take him from the top.
Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the notion that because the international community has raised concern over a particular program, that we must then now cease all activities with it is just a cowardice approach.
It is not a cowardice approach. It is a sensible approach. The United States is saying to you, stop it. Stop having people coming and apply for US visas using Grenadian passports who are not Grenadian. The US is saying to us now to stop it. Because before, there may have been a 10, a 20. Now you're ending up with hundreds of people who through their own countries would never have been considered for a US visa that are finding themselves in Barbados with their Grenadian passport applying. People from countries that the US considers undesirable, not Grenada, but the US considers undesirable. And under normal circumstances would not even process a visa application from these individuals. But because they are showing up with Grenadian passports, their visa processing is going through. Not going through because they ain't getting through, but it has been coming up. Yeah? You also have the US saying to Grenada now, hey, we don't like certain things that you all are doing, and therefore we have imposed a 5,000 US to 15,000 US visa bond on you. In other words, stop doing what you're doing. All you had CBI before, and we didn't have this volume of people suddenly appearing with Grenadian passport looking for visas. So since that is what all you're doing, we are going to pressure you. So you either fine at base 5,000 US or you fine 15,000 US. This individual is saying is a coward approach. Yeah, it's a coward approach to decide that you're going to review what you're doing, that you're going to say, hey, let us be careful in our approach. Let us start looking now for alternative means of income, which is what Grenada ought to be doing. Right now, we ought to be looking for alternative means of income because CBI is heading down. So they have told you that. The Canadian government have told you of concerns regarding CBI and people applying for Canadian visas. The European Union has said that to you. And these are the three areas that the majority of people applying for a Grenadian passport want access to. This is where they want to go. They want to go to North America. You think they want a Grenadian passport because they have visa-free access to Chile? You think that's why they want a Grenadian passport? No. It's because they want to get to the big United States and Canada, and they want to go over to England where you don't even need a visa. Yeah, you don't need a visa to go there. Or they want to go to the European Union where you don't need a visa. They want to go to China for business and so without the need for a visa. So they want a Grenadian passport. But these various countries are saying to Grenada, no. If it's your Grenadians, your born, bred Grenadians, everything, yeah, no problem. But you all have too much people coming from all these countries that we're trying to avoid, using you as a face to get in. And it has to come to a stop. So the European Union before was saying to Grenada, and Grenada is who dragged down everybody else because the volume of passports that were issued through Grenada was astronomical under the NDC. Astronomical, I had to use that terminology for it. So when you have somebody, no wonder you used to get F in, well, not even F in exam, Z in exam, because you ain't making sense.
The notion that because the international community has raised concern over a particular program, that we must then now cease all activities with it, is just a cowardice approach. We are not interested in fighting any wars. We are interested in developing our country. And by
if you're interested in developing your country, I could tell you all where you could make a couple $1 million a month right now.
Extension the region. This, we believe, what we are doing in terms of consistent reforms is extremely important, not just to secure our citizenship by investment impression throughout the world, but to ensure that Grenada's economic resilience is well taken care of.
If they wanted Grenada's economic resilience taken care of, they would have gone and they would have found the people with GPG. They would have said to them, we need you all to bring that rig that you all have for $2 billion that could start extracting natural gas in Grenadian waters. We need you all to bring it now. Get it into Grenada Gate now. And start the process of extracting natural gas that we know for a fact is in Grenadian waters. We're not guessing. We're not saying maybe it might have. We know for a fact that there are trillions of cubic meters of natural gas in Grenadian waters. Well, under the water, not in the water itself, under the water, in the land under the water. But you catch what I mean. And these folks, for 4 years, have been saying to this government, let us bring in this facility and start extracting, where Grenada could have been making more money possibly than it's making under CBI right now. It would have been making that on a monthly basis. In fact, with the present price of natural gas and oil, the company would have made their money back faster than expected. The same as is going on in Guyana right now. The company is making back their money faster than expected. So Guyana is going to start to receive, the government of Guyana is going to start receiving a larger share of the profit by the end of 2026. And Grenada could have been in a similar situation if Deacon Mitchell and his cabinet, with his hangers-on and lackeys like Andrea St. Bernard and Nazim Burke, had not been playing the games they have been playing with our oil and gas sector. We could have been in actual production right now, which would have offered Grenada another revenue stream. Because CBI is on its way out. I hope it's not business studies this guy study, you know. I really hope it's not business studies study. No one used to get Z and Y and X in exam. No one used to get. Because you can't understand a simple thing as you are trying to sell a product that is becoming less and less and less appealing. And instead of trying to diversify your economy into other areas that can bring income back, here you are like a stupidity talking about who coward and thing. It's not a matter of coward stupidity. It's a matter of CBI is going down. All other countries realize that and trying to see now who could, if they could increase agricultural output. Is, you know what he's talking about? Ron Reddit is sounding like when the Caribbean lost their preferential treatment with bananas. He's one of the people that would have been saying, plant more bananas. We don't mind if they ain't taking bananas in England. We don't mind if the geese boat ain't coming again and they're not taking all that set of bananas. Plant more bananas. But then who would you sell them to? If there's nobody, if the market has dried up, who will you sell it to? And that is what is happening when it comes to CBI now. The market is beginning to constrict and dry up. And within a 5-year period, it will no longer exist. Because nobody will want to come and spend that kind of money to buy a passport that they can't use to enter the European Union visa-free. Or they can't use to get the economic visa to go to the United States to start a business. Or they can't get a visa to go to Canada, where otherwise if they use their nationality, they can't get one. So they have the opportunity, talking like there are no opportunities there for Grenada to make. In fact, it seems as though our good friend has already given up on Project Polaris. Because I find all of them ducking from Polaris today in the parliament when they're talking about seeking additional revenue streams. I would have thought that what people like him would have been saying is that this is why we need to get into the medical tourism. It's going to provide an additional revenue stream for the people of Grenada. Tifit say it now. It's going to provide another additional revenue stream for the people of Grenada. But you couldn't say that then because you know it's not true. You know that Project Polaris is a pipe dream. And that pipe block on both ends. You know that. That is why you all have to put security boots and all kind of thing right now so people can't enter. Well, at least that's supposed to be what the security boots for. So people can't enter and take pictures and things and show that you all are doing nothing. The New National Party has already said that it is looking into, not will look into, already looking into alternative revenue streams to the state of Grenada. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Your economy gonna crash. It's just pure sense. So whether it is that you increase agricultural production in specific areas where there are markets for it, because you can't say we go in and put back a set of land in bananas and thing again. Nobody is buying it. No one is buying South America, Chiquita and all of them get them thing. So you have to be careful in your considerations and sensible in your approach. It's not a cowardice approach. It is a sensible approach. As I say again, I hope it's not business study, that man study, because I really hope it's not business studies that individual study. Yeah? I really hope it's not business study they study there, because that is problems. That is problems. You know what? Let me take a little piece of music there while I drink something. Yeah, man, yeah. I didn't think they like horse. Let me try that. Nah, we'll leave that one alone. Folks, you know also, over the weekend I was listening to the presentation regarding the exemptions that are now placed on electricity and so on. And I remembered something, and somebody, a good friend of mine, reminded me of something as well, when it comes to the exemptions that are now placed on electricity and so on. And it took me back to the House of Representatives in 2021, when the then New National Party was making this presentation regarding, let me see,
increase in the cost of basic commodities. As part of the 2022 fiscal relief measures, the government will also zero rate the VAT on electricity consumption for domestic consumers with usage up to 500 kilowatt hours per month. Government will also remove the environmental levy for all category of consumers whose usage does not exceed 500 kilowatt hours.
And you all notice this is 500 kilowatt hours and not 200 and 300 as some people talking about. So this was able to cover a larger cross-section of the Grenadian people, giving relief to many more Grenadians than what is being done now.
In other words, Mr. Speaker, domestic customers consuming up to a maximum of 500 kilowatt hours per month will be relieved of government charges on their electricity bills. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, with the rise in the price of fuel expected to continue, a reduction of 25% on the non-fuel charge per kilowatt hour will be instituted for all categories of consumers. These changes will take effect from the next billing cycle.
Yeah, not from the end of August and all. Yeah, not from the end of August, from the next billing cycle, which would be in July. Well, yeah, the August one. You're right. That one, right? Nice.
With WRB as owners of Grenlec, I think not, Mr. Speaker. Government's ability to initiate these relief measures in the electricity rate is only possible because the government of Grenada now has controlling shares.
Yeah, well, we had some people that didn't like that, No. We had some people that didn't like that. And don't worry, folks, I'll come to the phone lines in a while, yeah? I'll come to the phone lines in a while. I had to play what I'm playing, yeah? I'll come to the phone lines in a while, yeah? And let me see. I wonder if anybody else who talk on that again there, boy. Let me see if I can. Hey, look, Tonton. Hey, let me see what Tonton is say. Yeah, let me go and see what Tonton had to say in relation to this. Yeah, let me see.
In the non-fuel charge. And Mr. Speaker, the minister has identified 3 areas where you can get some relief. The 30% reduction in the non-fuel charge, increasing the threshold for VAT from 90 to 500 kilowatt hour, and the removal of the environmental levy. Mr. Speaker, just briefly, I just want to give you a comparison to show the benefits, how you could benefit from that. Let us assume that your kilowatt hour consumption, a household, 500 kilowatt hours for the month. Before the recommended change, that household will have to pay for fuel surcharge $215 based on the existing rate now, $215 in fuel surcharge. The non-fuel surcharge, $200. Yeah, EVL, which is fixed at $5, and the VAT, which the member was making a big issue about, the VAT on that will be $9.79. So before any relief, the household bill will be $429.79. With the relief measures, the fuel surcharge now will be, what was it? But overall, Mr. Speaker, you get a relief of $64.79 from that, which is important. Similar to the capping on the gasoline, $15. A busman from Saturday to St. George's, average, let us say, 17 gallons per day to go up and down. He's capped at 50. When you do the calculation, Mr. Speaker, he could save over $150 a week if he make only one trip. Time will not allow for me to go through the calculation, Mr. Speaker.
So you all understand that under the new National Party, you were giving putting in place serious measures which were giving serious relief to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique when it came to this particular issue. And I'm only doing this because there are some people out there trying to give the impression that NNP never did anything for people on electricity. So sometimes you have to remind people of what was done. But you also sometimes have to remind people of what was said by the present Prime Minister regarding this. Remember, he did the first budget presentation for the NDC in 2022 when he was Minister of Finance. What did he have to say about the measures that were taken by the new National Party to protect you, the Grenadian people, to put back money into your pockets, to help you, the people of Grenada, survive what we were going through at that point in time, which was COVID-19 and the shutting down of the world? What did he have to say?
Mr. Speaker, this information was hidden from the public, but to add insult to injury, the former administration imposed a generalized subsidy of a 25% reduction on the company, thus compromising its finances and operations further.
Also, NNP had given removed the environmental levy, no tax for under 500 kilowatts, and removed 25% in the fees and so on. And that was putting the company in danger. I wonder who put the company in danger now if that was putting the company in danger.
The former administration imposed a generalized subsidy of a 25% reduction on the company, thus compromising its finances and operations further. Compounding all of this, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that for the first time, for at least 2 years, the former administration knew that Grenada needed to augment its generation capacity and did nothing to address the matter.
And to tell you how hypocritical and nonsensical the statement he just made is, he was speaking about the 2 years of COVID, 2021 and 2020. So how you expect government during that spending millions of dollars? Remember, public servants got paid and they got paid on time. You had to upgrade your medical facilities. You had to give money to busmen, taxi drivers, hotel workers, restaurant workers, other people within the hospitality industry. Yeah? You had to find extra equipment for people within the medical field. You had to do all of these things. Millions of dollars. You had to spend on all those things. Most of the factories, all the companies all around the world shut down in 2020. And he expected Grenada. I know all you think Dr. Mitchell is a magician. But you expected the new National Party during COVID-19, when planes wasn't flying, boat wasn't moving, trains were shut down, buses couldn't even take a full bus in Grenada. When all of that was going on, the NNP was supposed to go and find a new engine for Grenlec that they had just acquired. Yeah? You see how these people are dishonest? So the same measures that the new National Party put in place, they come and boast like if they put better measures than that in place right now. But during the period of the NNP, they considered those measures to be detrimental to the company. So it ain't detrimental to Grenlec right now. Yeah? It's not detrimental to Grenlec for that to be happening now.
This information was hidden from the public. But to add insult to injury, the former administration imposed a generalized subsidy of a 25% reduction on the company, thus compromising its finances and operations further. Compounding all of this, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that for the first time, for at least 2 years, the former administration knew that Grenlec needed to augment its generation capacity and did nothing to address the matter. Mr. Speaker, our administration is committed to working with Grenlec to sustainably solve this issue with the use of renewable energy. To date, 2 sites for photovoltaic or PV solar have been identified. One at Pearls, St. Andrew, and the second at the Maurice Bishop International Airport.
And let me tell you all, we heard that story in 2022 that they're going to be putting solar panels in Pearls and at the Point Celine facility there, Maurice Bishop International Airport, that they're going to be putting solar panels there. I don't know about when they lighted the planes, when they come in and they lighted the sun is reflected into the eyes of the pilots, but that's another story for them to answer. But they said they're going to be putting these things at the Point Celine facility there, Maurice Bishop International Airport, and also in Pearls. They said that in 2022. They come back and say it in 2023. They say it again in 2024. They come and say it in 2025. And you know, I just heard them say it last week again in 2026. Talk, 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 talk. No action. And they can't tell me a lie. I could pull all instances of them saying it. Every year is the same story. This was him in 2022. That's why you hear him talking about that there. But you know, when he made these nonsensical statements about what they were doing and that it's going to benefit people more and so on, you know, he has a sensible person speaking on this same issue.
The reinstatement of VAT, environmental levy on electricity consumption below 500 kilowatts, is another area of concern. You know who that hitting most? The poor again. This government hate poor people. They hate poor people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will do some calculations and read out numbers. Read out numbers and show you why. Because I don't just talk. Mr. Speaker, the new National Party government removed VAT and the environmental levy for the first 500 kilowatts of electricity used by homes, and at the same time reduced the non-fuel price by 25%. This government has reintroduced the environmental levy and the non-fuel charge and imposed a VAT of 7.5%. And instead pressure this places on the average consumer with the imposition of a higher rate of VAT, while the collections of VAT on behalf of the government are given an amnesty. Isn't that, you know? Collection of VAT by the government on giving amnesty, a policy taxing the poor and vulnerable, or without options to finance the people of means. People collect the VAT, is given an amnesty. But the poor people who pay it have to pay it. Have a heart. Have a heart, man.
And the heart on the t-shirt, Doc. The heart on the t-shirt. The heart is not... listen, I mean, here's some... Let me hear some calculations, man. Let me hear a mathematician at work. Yeah.
The new budget, I want to just give a breakdown of some
and this is for the people that continue to make those nonsensical statements on social media and other places that the NNP never did anything on the electricity. All you're forgetting the year. I know they want you to forget the years of COVID, eh? And I mean, a lot of us want to forget those years. But you have to remember.
For those who may not understand, that we remove VAT on the 500 kilowatts of electricity consumed by households. Mr. Speaker, let me give you some numbers. Somebody who was using 300 kilowatts, the non-fuel charge under the NNP was $91.29. The fuel charge was $260.46. No environmental levy, no VAT. Total $351.75. And these are poor people because 300 kilowatts is joke. The NDC program, 300 kilowatts, similar amount. Non-fuel charge, $121.71. The fuel charge is the same, $260.46. $10 environmental levy, $15.08 VAT. Total $407.25. Poor people again. Another one, 800 kilowatts. Non-fuel charge NNP, $243.44. Fuel charge, $694.57. Mr. Speaker, $10 environmental levy, $13.69 VAT, total $961.70. Under the NDC, 800 kilowatts, $324.56 non-fuel charge. Fuel charge $694.57. I've given you guys work to go home and do. $694.57. Check it because you might say hell lie. Environmental levy $10. VAT $21.33. Total cost under the NDC for the same 800, $1,050.46. Mr. Speaker, and the token, most people use a lot of kilowatts, Mr. Speaker. Not the big man that getting this. Most of the revenue and the things that we give, the big people in the bigger levels, at the higher levels of consumption, are the ones that would benefit the most. If you go to 1,500 kilowatts per hour and so on, that's where you will benefit a lot compared to what the NNP was giving. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that the measures imposed by the Minister of Finance of this country have placed the people, the poor ones, in the worst off position. I challenge them to dispute these live examples, Mr. Speaker.
And they still are challenged to dispute these live figures. They never have been able to. Let me open the phone lines. 440-7377. That's the number for you to get onto the inside. Let me open the phone lines. The direct line and the WhatsApp line are now open. So 440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside. Yeah, folks, this is... And I had to do that. And remember something additionally here, because I haven't heard them speaking about it. On October the 3rd, let me get the exact date there. It's October the 1st, 2023. The government also imposed an additional tax on electricity. Yeah? That is the renewable energy charge. Check your electricity bill, you'll see it there. The renewable energy charge. That didn't exist before. That didn't exist during the period of the New National Party. They are the ones that put that additional charge onto your electricity bill as well. Yeah, they are the ones that did that. Meanwhile, they're trying to give you the impression that they were the ones that do so much for the cost of electricity, and they came in just in time to save Grenadians when it came to things like that. When they took out all of the safety and protections that were put in place for you, the Grenadian people. I'm sure many people didn't even realize that it had a program. Let me play something for you. That there was a program like this.
I want to make mention also of the $3 million that was allocated and spent on the Go Green project. I heard before about climate change, resilience, and all of that, Mr. Speaker. We recognize a major challenge was that of the electricity bill that was coming for schools, particularly night lighting. And so, Mr. Speaker, the government at the time invested in this project, installing solar lights and cameras, because we would know that security was also a major challenge. So across the length and breadth of Grenada, what was the intention and what did we do as a result? Was to initiate this project to address the issue of electricity consumption, to give our commitments as it relates to climate change and what we are going to do, small as it is in this particular project, to support Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I am extremely happy that this work was done that can now be built upon. Mr. Speaker, we expect to see the results in the reduction of electricity cost for the Ministry of Education.
But the same people will come and tell you now that NNP never did anything to deal with the cost of electricity. This was Honorable Emlyn Pierce speaking of what she, not the NDC government, what she as the Minister of Education, one of the initiatives they took that was able to reduce the cost that government was paying for electricity on a monthly basis. One of the things that was found on coming into office in 2013, one of the things that were found was that you had some very, very high electricity and water bills. And what the New National Party did, folks, the phone lines are open. What the New National Party administration did is that they ensured that they dealt with those through the, what was the name of that company again? A government institution, Financial Complex Limited. So what did the government do? They got a set of plumbers, and the plumbers would go and deal with the leaks and different things in different facilities. So you find you have a government facility and you're getting water bills for hundreds of dollars. The NNP sent folks down there, and they were able to manage that situation to get those bills down to a reasonable and sensible level. You had facilities where people were taking a hose, turn on the water, and just put the hose and let water run. I wouldn't call it a particular facility, but they would just take a hose, put it down, and government water, so they didn't care, and just let water run. That was taking place. One of the other things that people were doing, you had many government facilities, so you were passing schools and you were passing some of these things, and all the lights on in the school. Not just the security lighting around the perimeter, all the lights on in the classroom with nobody there. So you had all the lights on in the classrooms. What did government do? They said, okay, the security, you have a responsibility to make sure that all of these lights are turned off. And you had people going and check to make sure that it was being done. And that brought the amount of money government was paying for electricity right down. So you had a specific strategy of how you were getting things done. I remember there was one facility, there was a bill that came in for a couple $1,000s for water, and you were wondering, well, what's going on? And they checked the entire facility, no leaks, you know where the leak was? Underground. So after the meter, there was a bit of pipe under, the leak was there. So government went and they sorted that out. And that was what that particular department was doing. When you heard about waste management, some people are laughing when they hear about waste management. These are some of the things that government was doing, the NNP government was doing to get costs down. And you've heard of that project that the Honorable Emmeline Pierce spoke of there, where not only did they ensure that the lights were being taken off inside of the classrooms during the night, because if it have nobody inside there, and not only classrooms and not only schools, other facilities too, medical facilities, other places, nobody inside there, but the light on whole day, whole night, whole day. Just some of those lights never coming off. They just on whole day and whole night. So they made sure that those lights were being taken off, and that the lighting on the outside, you got the solar panels, so that you could provide lighting on the outside of the facilities. That would again lower the cost of electricity that folks had to pay. I see some folks calling me on 421-7279. No, you've got to call me on 440-7377. That's where you've got to give me the call. Yeah? So you can call me on 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get me on the inside. Yeah?
Yeah. This is history. The first female prime minister of...
And folks, remember, we won't be broadcasting next week. We'll be coming back on the Wednesday after Carnival.
The hills of Butch Grove are
and I'm seeing that somebody calling me on the 421. No, you need to call me on the 440. I don't have the 421 hooked up to the system, so you're wasting that call.
She made sure no children was left behind.
Call me on 440-7377. Call me on 440-7377. I cannot answer the call on the 421 number.
For you to contemplate the next thing that all you go hear. Emmeline Pierre have a doctorate. People from near, people from
so you all can call me directly, or you all can call me on the WhatsApp.
You hear, sir, someone who care about the future, the diaspora, want a female prime minister. Oh, people from near, people from far, want Emmeline Pierre to be the prime minister. Little children, grandma and grandpa, say they want a female prime minister. I remember when Emmeline came on this.
Yeah, you see, one of the problems that I have is that a lot of folks don't know and speak as though they know. So they don't know something. They have no idea what you're talking about, but they want to give an impression that they know. And that's a bad, there's a word for that in psychology. People who boost themselves above the level that they really are in knowledge and try to give the impression that they know a lot more than they actually know. No, they don't, yeah?
People from far, what they want is a female prime minister. You hear, sir? Someone who care about the future, the diaspora, want a female prime minister. Hey, people from...
And I believe we have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Oh, the phone line is giving problems tonight. Hello, good night.
Yes. No, yes, you're right. The phone line is giving problems.
Yeah, I just realized it was sticking there while I was trying to answer. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's it. Well, you know who is this?
Yes, yes indeed. Not next it.
Yeah, I think that phone line is giving problems. Yeah, 427. Anyway, my wife would just alert me is that's the number that I have to reach you on.
Yeah, I can't answer the next one on air. Yeah.
Okay.
So you
no. Two things, well, actually three things I want to ask. Okay. Number one, is that bridge from Montreat to Montfenue finished? Coming to Hermitage over Google Bailey Hill. Is that bridge finished yet?
I will have to find out. Someone will have to message and tell me I've not been that side for about 2 months. So I've not been on
St. Patrick's East. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. now, on a more serious note, you mentioned that this guy, the Don Scap, and you know who I mean.
It
This guy,
it have a lot of them for that, eh?
no. This guy is very, very dunce. When he's making this kind of statements and he's thinking he's talking to two pence halfpenny country, this guy thinks America is a two pence halfpenny country. Do these guys know when he there in Grenada in down there and that who is he talking to? Do they have sense? Do they have when you say about we are going to rush this? It's like you are a fisherman in Grenville on the market at 4 o'clock, and you have fish on the ground, and you're trying to sell it fast before they spoil. Now they have some applications down the pipeline. So he is saying, let's just run through, like the Prime Minister say, I could press a button and just legalize everybody like this. That's his intention. We have some people in the pipeline that waiting for their thing. Let's don't stop. Let's just give all of them there because we're going to lose it in the next 2 years. Why do we have to stop? Is this guy doted? Is he ebete? As what we say back home, normally people, that man is a ebete. That man is foolish. How can you say, let's just run everybody through the pipeline and maximize who we have waiting? Is that the philosophy? Is that what we are looking at? Answer me, Sharon.
Well, no, these guys, as far as I'm concerned, have no vision. Because if you're looking at the issue, as I mentioned before, if you're looking at the issue and you're saying, okay, there are the CBI might be in problem and we need to look at additional revenue streams. I thought with all the noise they make after Project Polaris, that would be what they jump up talking about. But to a man, all of them hush them out on Project Polaris because they realize that really they're giving some, I could use the word pie in the sky, but they don't like when we use pie in the sky, but unrealistic promises. They're giving some very unrealistic promises when it comes to things like that. When there are other revenue streams where the people are knocking on their door and they're not looking at it. So when you hear this guy making these kind of nonsensical and doty statements, these statements could put us in more problems, The same way the last set put us in problem. These statements he's making could put us in more problems.
No, these statements are selfish and individualized statements. They want a last lap to make some quick money. Because if you say, let's rush everybody to the pipeline, I guess they have some applications waiting. And the Prime Minister said with the touch of a button, he could just do everybody. So everybody in the pipeline who is waiting, they will just get their CBI and get their thing go. Is that their intention? Is that what you're saying that this Don Scap is trying to say?
Well, it can be. I'm sorry, I was a bit to take it aback. JJ just had me there for a minute. But yeah, what he's saying there is that they don't need to, Grenada doesn't need to be scared then of what can happen if we continue with a CBI program. I think the other countries, they have sensibly realized, hey, we need to diversify. We need to look at other areas of bringing in money because eventually, within at least 2 years to 3 years, CBI will be gone. But definitely by 5 years, CBI is gone. Somebody just mentioned it. It's called the Kruger-Dunning effect. Yeah, they know it all. Thank you very much, Fadu. Yeah, and that is what the MP is suffering from. And it's not the first time he's getting up because they think sounding nice is making sense. Sounding nice and using nice sounding words and big phrases is not making sense, Making sense is application of what you're saying to the real situation. And what he's saying there is absolute nonsense. Yeah?
Yeah, and let me just respond here. For all Grenadians, I'm a Grenadian, for all Grenadians who was in revolution, Maurice Bishop. I was not there, and we other thing. If you think that any country in the world could exist without America, and you have these twopence halfpenny dummies trying to think they who is America, and that's who we are. Right now, every Grenadian who wants to come to America has to pay at least 40,000 EC just to go in Barbados, and they don't even show. Okay? They don't even show yet. Good night, sir. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, indeed. 44073. I do apologize for the problem we were having there. 4407377. That is the number you can call to get us on the WhatsApp, 4407377. Or you can call us directly as well. Yeah, oh boy, I missed a lot of calls there. Folks, give me a call back. Let me see if I can get back to one of the folks that were trying to call there. Let me see if I can get through to them. Yeah, folks, this sort of behavior is what put us in problems with getting a visa right now. It's why our artists right now cannot get a visa to go into the United States to go and perform. It is the reason us, average Grenadians right now, we are having problems. We are having problems right now. If we have to go and get a visa, we have a problem. And a major problem at that. Major problem. Listen, as a good friend of mine just mentioned, and it's a fact, the United States is listening, They're listening to everything that's being said here. They're listening to everything that was said in the parliament. They pay particular attention to the parliament. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, brother. How you doing tonight?
Hey, hey, I like when I hear that voice. Good night, sir.
How you doing? Good night to
good.
Talking Points and Grenada and NPIs. Well, Shalon, today is the first day in 4 years I listened to Philip Telesford because I was so excited. I thought he come in and say they're bringing in everything. This clown in tongue, what's her name? This clown that she wanted to do. Yeah, everything Claudette wanted with the CBI. When I hear amendment, I say, well, I need to listen to this because they come in and put in everything Claudette was talking about now. They come in and put the ban. CBI agents can't vote. They can't register. Everything she was preaching.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know they come in there and didn't mention nothing. Claudette, what going on? You had the opportunity to put in everything you wanted. I mean, there's some easy promises. You don't have to spend no money for that. You know? There's some easy promises you make. You could do, you know. Your foot there in the shoes. Wait now. I mean, come on. You promise the people you go ban CBI. You go ban them from voting. They can't register. I mean, you can wear the shoes. Well, take it off.
No, they didn't.
I don't understand.
And that is definitely what they did not do.
Yeah, that is what I was looking for today. And Philip, it's first time I listened to you, and I mean, I don't know how you keep that position in so long, you know, because you're really making sense. The time you should just give up government business too. I don't think you know what you're doing. But Shala, another question too. The Speaker of the House, he working for the Prime Minister, or he's supposed to be independent like an umpire kind of situation?
He is supposed to be an independent voice in the House. He's not supposed to be taking side A or side B. He's supposed to be an independent voice.
Yeah, boy, but I mean, I don't know. I think, I mean, they're paying him, but I mean, he don't have to act like he game piece from them. I mean, he could be he can show like a thing, man. Come on, man. I mean, Miss Modest, Honorable Modest was bringing a point. He shut her down, and she was bringing a valuable point. If she's in a position, how should she rule? In that instance, she was asking a very important question. I assume. But I'll say this though. The last time I voted is in 2013. So all them NDCites, they were thinking, oh yeah. All them people abroad only voting NDC. But the last time I voted was 2013 to get rid of NDC. And I didn't come back in 2018 to vote, or 2022. But I'll be back to vote. I will vote all you out. I will. But anyway, Sheldon, good program. Well, hey, Toes, I don't know what going on with your partners. How much pig them pig make? How much piglet we are now, Toes? Well, we should have pig does make a lot in us, so
They say
we should have a couple of 100.
They claim 175.
Well, we should have about 1,000 pig more going right now, because if each mother pig, Toes, if they're wrong and looking newborn, well, oh God. Those sorry Fireboy. I know you lie on TV and then the document come out. You don't lie. I don't know those. Hey.
And from your own ministry, He own ministry sent it out, not anybody else.
I don't believe he did, because Mr. Bagwan, the PS, past PS, Mr. Bagwan, did come on GBN and say, well, we lose 4, we lose a couple, and then they move him. Well, whenever you see this PS here now, he sent out the document. Well, they might fire. Send him back in Karakou.
You're speaking here with pigs. You're speaking over 20 pigs. You're speaking over 17 goats at least that have died. Significant numbers of animals.
This is $1 million property. I don't know. This is $1 million property, fellas. Come on. But anyway, though, Sheldon, Good program, sir, and keep up the good work. We there behind them.
Yes,
keep the truth coming out. Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, sir. Thank you very much for your service. I hope you're having a wonderful time. But the scholar can't sing on here again. I don't know what he go do. He might quit.
He go sing and say that he can't sing.
Well, he can't even show up to Parliament. I hope he feel better though.
Yeah. We hope you feel better, man. Yeah, we hope you get better. All right.
But anyway, all the best, Lord. Take it and have a good night, sir.
You have a good one.
All right, buddy.
4407377. That's a 4407377. That is the number for you to get onto the inside. You can call us directly, or you can call us on the WhatsApp. So you could call direct, or you could call on WhatsApp, and we can take the call. All right. So you can give us a call on 440-7377. Those of you outside of Grenada, you need to save it as in +147 440-7377. Once you save it like that, you're going to see it showing up on WhatsApp, and you're able to call. All right. So just letting you all know how the thing go. All right. Nice. Yeah.
People from far want Emlyn Pierre to be the Prime Minister.
I'm looking for that video the caller mentioned there, and I can't see it,
Man, Grandpa.
I've got it, but I just don't have it on this system, so I've got to get it out. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Who's saying the ship? I want to know who's saying the ship,
Clock it.
Clock it.
Go right ahead,
good night. Let me ask one little concern I have. I want to show it out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a big problem at the fish market.
Mm-hmm.
We have a big ice machine which the National Democratic Congress has bring in. The last 4 months now it's not working. The 2 little machine was there, was purchasing ice. We just say, everybody bring it, and it's popcorn machine. They throw it outside, they bring it back. That is what gives us a little ice. So then you have a lot of fish in the market now. The ministry, they know the machine not working. They send it for ice today, and we cannot get some ice to put on our fish. Then the ministry, the health minister passes and say, oh, there is no ice in the fish. But where is the ice machine? Look, you pack up there like a white elephant not working. When we have to get ice, we have to ask the driver or driver to talk to, if you could go to grandma to get ice for him, and then we have to give him something. But that is not right. They have to do better than that. I want the minister and the people in government to hear. That is not right. We don't get an ice when we face them at 8 o'clock in the morning. We put on the fish. And should I be marking 4 and fly to Mountain Ice to come out of the fish?
You would need to have
They
that.
have to do better than that. 4 months now. The ice machine not working, the taco bed not working. Brand new machine they say they get. But the 2 little popcorn machine with NMP brain, that one has to come and substitute ice house again.
So the same ones they put
I'm
out.
going to throw it outside, wait till the sun and light and beat it. They have to bring it back now and give us a little ice.
Well,
But we don't have no ice in the market.
You see what I say tonight, eh? Bad talk it and eat it. That is what going on with
And
them.
when they have to look with the ice and go, everybody outside us. They know they're not supposed to be doing that, but they're selling it still. So we want the minister and the government to look into that for us, please. People to fix the machine. The machine not working over 4 months now. And I don't know if they know, I don't know if they don't know. Because they don't pass it on nothing to nobody. If we don't come out and say something, nobody knows. Nobody else knows nothing. You understand? I don't be the voice of the voiceless. Because if I ain't come out and say something, nobody else opening them out. Just one of them body with their mouth closed. So I want children to throw it out for us. So that we could do something about it for us. Thank you, and you should have a blessed day.
All right, my dear, I will. All right, thank you. Yes, indeed, 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, and I was just getting a message up because, in fact, if you check what's going on right now, Grenadians, forget it. You ain't getting no non-immigrant visa. Forget it. You're not getting that. Them B1, B2 visas, the U.S. has basically said to Grenada, don't bother to come. How many Grenadians right now that may have, you have young folks who are working their little job, was saving up and so on, probably saying, well, I'll try Barbados and see if I get my visa to go to the U.S. and so they can't get it again. Forget that. Because there's no way that they will have 5,000 US to be able to put aside to say that, oh, I could put aside a 15,000 US or a 10,000 US or a 8 or a 9,000 US, that they'll be able to put that aside to say I could use that as a bond for when I'm going in the United States. Some people can't even go in the United States with a 300, 400 US probably, much less to find 15,000 US to put as a bond for you to travel and go into the United States. And even worse now, several Grenadians who have applied are being denied their green card. Yet still we have stupid ministers making dotish statements in our parliament down here still. Nonsense. You can't be doing that. You see, these individuals, it's all about them. Because Ron Redhead does not have to worry about traveling to the United States, because his diplomatic passport is exempt. So he can easily use his passport and go to the United States. But the people who are to vote for him, they can't go. And some of them lose their visa, because not only entertainers are losing their visas, there are other categories of people losing their visas as well. But he could go, he could jump a plane tomorrow and go in the United States. So he didn't care what you had to go through and I had to go through. So he could make those daughter statements. We have a call on the line. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. Go right ahead. You're live.
Yes. What do you expect of a a man tipping a car and selling it? What do you expect of a donkey head to say? That is what donkey head car thief will say. Good night.
I don't know who thief car, eh? I don't know who thief car is a good. I don't know who thief car. Right. I just making it clear. I, Sheldon, don't know who thief a car de. Papa Jome. Me. I don't know. All I know who thief a car de. I don't know who thief a car. Who take people car that wasn't theirs and sell and all kind of. I don't know who do that. I don't know about them thing there. That is beyond me. I don't know who do that. You understand? Yeah, I don't know who do them thing there. Or they might know. Yeah, or they may have institutional knowledge of what took place. I don't have that. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. You can call direct. These guys don't care. Oh God, learn. Stupidity Cornwall went in on GBN and make the dotage statement. Not only he suffer for it, all of we suffer for it. Dotage Andal went and make his statement. We gain it again. Oh gosh, stupidity Ron had to come and follow up too. Oh goodness, man. What do them do now? Decide that nothing can enter, cut all flights to Grenada too? Decide that the people can't come? Because I mean, it's like, what else are they what them do? We already can't go, you know. We already can't go. Those of us without visas in Grenada right now had to wait for NNP government to come in and to stratify and strategize and make a proper reconnection with the United States so that we could have all of these things dropped. Talking about we can't be cowardized. What cowardized? Who more cowardized than the NDC government of now? That's what I tell all afraid them for. Because if they were not cowardized, they would have stood up and said, we support Cuba. But that same Ron Redhead is part of a cabinet that abstained from the vote. If Oli was so brave, and Oli was so certain, Oli was so, yes, this is what, we brave, we could stand for things. If Oli didn't have cowardice, Oli would have stand up with the same Cuba Oli was preaching and praying about all the time. Oli didn't stand up with them. Who more coward than Oli? Oli want people afraid of Oli. But telling all you, I don't afraid. And I will never fear all you because I know all is coward. I ain't think, you know. I ain't feel, you know. I know all is a bunch of coward. Hiding behind the government office. That's what you're doing. But the day will come when you all shall hide no more. The day definitely will come when the Grenadian people shall make a determination as to whether or not they shall continue with the wickedness all you're doing. And I have faith in the Grenadian people. I have faith in the Grenadian spirit. And I know that when that day arrives, they will make the proper choice. They will ensure that they will not continue for another 4, 5, or 2 years, not even 1 year. They will make sure they will not continue with the victimization, with the nonsensical statements that keep putting us, Grenadians, in all kind of monkey pants. Yeah, it's like if we go in Granatang right now and we get our pants and put on a monkey, all you're putting us in monkey pants. That is what they continue to do with these dotage statements and thinking that when they speak as a minister, that it only affects them. No, it affects everybody. You trying to look like this big brave thing. The European Union is saying, kill CBI. The US government is saying it. The Canadian government is saying it. And you're going to hear other individual governments start to say the same thing. Kill CBI. So you know, yes, we understand that is a means that small island states have been using to gain revenue. Yes, we know above everybody else because this Sheldon here, was one of the people in the Senate when that bill was brought to the Senate. I was one of the people that voted, yes, let us restart the CBI program in Grenada. I was one of the people in Parliament that debated that particular legislation. So I know very well what has been put in place. But in the same way that we once had banana fields all over Grenada and we now do not, we used to have plane to pass and spray banana. We do not right now. And if we're stupid and we want to say, let us go and plant banana over the whole of Grenada again, you will see we're buying it. You have to understand when a particular item's time has come to an end. The pressures that are being placed on us are directly tied to the reckless behavior of the Deacon Mitchell administration with Grenada's CBI program And it has taken down the other islands with it. It has taken down St. Lucia and Dominica and St. Kitts with it. It has taken them down due to the behavior of Grenada. Because when they're checking the OECS as a unit and they're checking the volume of, listen, they ain't refusing nobody, you know. Grenada ain't refusing no. You come, where you want a passport? Okay, here. Money, here, passport. So they've been operating. So they have been operating. How can the international community trust their CBI program, where the main person in charge of the CBI program is a beneficiary of the program, Deacon and Miss Mitchell? If what I'm saying is not true, go to the courts and sue me. Sue me. I know nothing for you to take, but sue me. They go take the gray hair in my head, that's all you have to take. But it is a fact. It is a fact. You expect the US to trust a situation like that? The person who is signing the citizenship, who is sitting in cabinet when all of that is taking place, is himself a CBI agent. And up until a couple weeks ago, the individual who was providing the concessions to the CBI developers was also a cabinet minister and a CBI agent as well. Plus, you have other people who are agents of the state at the highest level, diplomatic. They're traveling on a red passport. So they had to worry about visa and all kind of thing. They're traveling on a red passport for now, because the US watching everything that's going on. So for now, they're traveling on red passport. The time will come when the US will have to take action. And it's all of us that getting dragged in the mud. Not just those who go in parliament and make these stupid statements where you could understand when the teacher grading them, they used to give them a Z. All of us going to pay the price. Folks, that's all the time for Talking Points tonight. We will come back tomorrow night, man. Yeah. We back tomorrow night. No, there's no meeting this week, so we on tomorrow night, God's willing, right? So, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. And we do hope that you've had a wonderful night tonight and you get a restful rest tonight. Folks, don't forget the donations. And what do you think, man? Yeah, you. Where you? Right. Yeah, donations. Don't forget the donations. Yes, it is that time of month. And you know, when this time of month comes, we have our obligations we have to make to be able to keep everything running smooth. Because strange things does happen every now and again with some of these machines. So we just have to make sure that we maintain certain protocols, and that involves utilizing money. Yeah? So whether it is $10, whether it is $20, $50, whatever you can give, please utilize the above. Yeah, you'll see it scrolling below every now and again too, along with the account. But please utilize above, because we don't want anything to start happening again with our computers and all these things. We need to keep on top of stuff. And then we have other things that we need to do as well. So apart from software, we have other things that we must pay for. So we need to do that. And we are also in the process of upgrading, because as I told you all when we had that issue where we were bumped off of YouTube a couple weeks ago, there is a plan of where we need to be. And as such, we're putting together things to get to there. So one by one, they say one cocoa. You can't do it one go. We could do it one cocoa. We're doing it that way. So folks, make sure you check it out. Donate. It could be $10. You're helping. Yeah? Could be $5. Yeah? Could be at $2 you put by Cami. It helps. We are grateful and we are thankful. And we want to thank each and every one of you that have been helping. All right, folks? So as I said, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It has been wonderful being here with you as usual. They bad talk it and eat it. Yeah? Yeah. If I let do that, it's going to damage the company. It go damage the company. The same man they say it go damage the company, come and do the same thing. Well, not the same, because NNP one was better, but he come and do the same thing. The same thing he was saying go damage Grenlec. When he was reading budget speech at the end of 2022, the same thing he end up having to come and do now. Hypocrite, bad talk it and eat it. Folks, that's all the time. I am out.
Good night.
Superstitious people say the end is near, that these signs are showing, my God, they whisper in fear, while Christians are saying prophecy fulfilled. Mankind has not followed the Creator's will. Social scientists say dialectics explains all the changes that going on still. Some people are doubtful, they don't know what their future holds. What will they discover as they grow and their life unfolds? Will they survive to witness the dream of a promised land, or be cast away and be victims of damnation? And so I ask, where are we going? Tell me, where are we going? Mankind, have you gone insane in your brain? I say stop now and let the world survive. For the future's sake, let us stay alive. I think it is really time that we must study hard. Christians speak of Sodom and Gomorrah. Older people hang their heads in sorrow. The children wonder for tomorrow. Please awake before it's too late. I'm begging you again. Please awake before it's too late. Hanging on the wall, and some of the answers, my God, can't be found at all. Nuclear holocaust, always around the bend. Any deviation can come to an end. Conflicts evermore over in the east. Can the Caribbean remain a zone of peace? With climate change, the seasons are out of place. Hurricanes and storms staring islands straight in the face. Global leaders continue to make promises again, but with rising tides, it's small islands that feel the pain. And so I ask, where are we going? Where are we going? Mankind, have you gone insane in your brain? People die in wars they don't understand, for the selfish gains of some rich nations. And the people who are the victims, they don't study hard. Praise for artificial intelligence, yet so many struggle with common sense. It's progress, but what a great expense. Please away before it's too late. I'm begging you again. Please away before it's too late. Social media rearrange we brain. We can check for facts, so truth's not a game. While truth is in danger, lives move so fast. We spread rumors first and verify last. While technology advancing at will, moral values tumbling down the hill. Chasing shares and likes with all of your might.